what's the best way to be helpful to a blind person who may need assistance? Because I've read that some sighted people will come up and grab a person's cane thinking that it's helpful and like redirect them, or you said sometimes people will pet your guide dog and distract your guide dog. What's the best way if you sense a blind person needs help? What's the best way to approach that situation?
Just say, "Excuse me, do you need any help?"
And that'll take care of itself.
Yeah, then the person can tell you yes, no, or can you tell me this, or can you tell me that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best way, because that's the only way you're going to know what the person needs.
So just ask for help, just like anyone else, and they'll tell you.
Like if I'm going to cross the street and there's a store I'm going to, and if that store is closed, I don't want to cross the street and go, because it's not going to be very... So someone may say, "Do you need help?" And I'll say, "Yeah, can you tell me, is that store open?" Now they think I need help across the street, and maybe I do, but listen, because maybe if that store is closed, I don't want to cross that street.
Yeah. So don't assume just because you're asking someone a question that you need help doing more than the answer requires. You may genuinely just want to know, is that store closed, and you don't need help crossing the street.
Well, you have to ask the person, because you don't know what they're looking for.
True. That's true.
You know, I mean, you don't know if someone's standing there because they're waiting for someone to pick them up, or they're standing there because they're waiting for a cab, or if they need you to help them get a cab. So the only way you're going to know is to ask the person, "Excuse me, can I be of assistance?" Yeah. Don't assume that you know, because you probably are going to be wrong.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's something that I've struggled with, is speaking up or just asking simple questions that would make the whole situation easier. Because I feel like sometimes people are afraid to ask questions if they're the ones that need help. Like if you need help, it might be intimidating to ask a question. And I'm speaking about myself. Like sometimes I'll need help, and I can just speak up and say, "Hey, like, can you mind running to this store and getting me this and whatever?" But then there's also sometimes where I assume that someone needs help because they look a certain way or they're doing something, and instead of asking that person, I'll go up to them and just try to help them without even figuring out what they want.
Yeah, and that's where you get in trouble.
Yeah. So what do you do? What do you do? Will you like smack them with the cane or something? Like what's your move?
I wouldn't do that, but I would be a little annoyed. I'd say, "Please, if I needed your help, I would have asked you."
Yeah.
But I remember once there was a person, and he was in a wheelchair, and he had somebody with him, and the guy said, "Oh, I don't know if we can get through there, or if we, or if you can sit in that spot." And I said, "Would it be easier if I moved?" And he said, "Yes, that would be much easier, because then we could move that chair and I could get into that spot much better." But I never would have known that if I didn't say something, because, I just wouldn't have known. So it's always better to ask the person, what is it that you need, Like my sister, she'll see someone in a wheelchair, she'll see them, carrying a lot of stuff. She'll say, "Oh, you want me to hold something?" And they might say, "No, just hold it. If you hold the door, I can get through." But if you start grabbing their stuff, they're going to not be happy with you. So it's better for you to say, "What can I do to be helpful?"